Hi you guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Michelle and this is a word of caution regarding watching pick a card love readings. So while there is nothing inherently wrong with wanting to know where you stand with the love interest on your mind, the reason why you're wanting to know where you stand with them matters greatly, as it can greatly impact your mental and emotional well-being. So a very good question to ask yourself when it comes to why you're watching pick a card love readings is, am I simply curious or am I actually clinging? Holding on to hope isn't always a good thing, especially if it's keeping you stuck in limerence or in codependence. The last thing I want to do is to enable limerence and codependence with the content that I create. I want to help you create a life in which you're truly thriving, not keep you stuck in survival mode. And I know how it all works because I've been there. So this is where grace, knowledge, understanding, and compassion come in. It's okay if the only way you're able to self-soothe in this moment is by way of participating in coping mechanisms, distractions, and the like. As long as you're also doing yourself a favor by learning how to heal the wounding that has been fueling any limerence and or codependent patterns that you might have. My promise to you is that as you heal the wounding, your dependency on your SP, which means specific person, aka the person on your mind, or your ex, will begin to dissolve naturally, to the point where you're not even curious about what they're thinking and how they're feeling about you anymore. I know this to be true from personal experience. When you're ready to start healing the wounding, I have some amazing resources to get you going. My personal recommendation is to start with 2 videos, how to stop manifesting separation, and then the other one is called Releasing the Wants. Both videos will be linked in the description box below. My heart is always with you guys, and with that I bid you more happy viewing. Love, Michelle. What is going on, Pile 1? Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, what's up? My name is Michelle. We're doing another pick a card love reading today. We are tapping in and channeling through who are you to your person, where do you stand with them, and what do they want from you in this connection. Okay, you guys, we're getting the tea. We're getting the deets. So tap in, you guys. Just keep in mind it's a general collective reading, so whatever resonates, you can do whatever you want with it. If something isn't quite resonating, just drop it, leave it behind for whomever it might resonate for. I do have personal readings available if you would like for me to tap exclusively into you and your person's connection. Just check the description box below. All the booking details are there. I have a lot of readings available in the specific person category. There's also a lot of those readings that are only $25. I also have this reading, this exact reading in this exact format available. It's called Who Are You to Them. Yeah, so just check the link below in the description box. All right, let's get started, you guys. You were drawn to the very flashy Labradorite kitty. For some reason, he wants to go over there. So let's see what's going on here. All right. Who you are to your person. We have the here and now showing up in the reverse. We also have the Wheel of Fortune in the reverse, the 7 of Wands in the reverse, and the Queen of Wands in the reverse. Holy moly. Okay. Now he wants to go over here. All right, so what do we got here? We got the number 32, the number 5. Ooh, that would just change. Yeah, and then we got the Wheel of Fortune here in the reverse, resistance to change. Let's see, in the reverse for me as a reader, Wheel of Fortune in reversed energy is fixed, and so there's, let's see, Leo, Scorpio, Aquarius, and what's here, Taurus. Okay, and then we have the Queen of Wands with fire energy, Aries, Leo, Sag. Let's see what's going on with here and now in the reverse for who you are to your person. Where are you at? 30. Okay. All right, it says, whenever you find your mind drifting into the past, wondering if things could have or should have been better, or whenever you find yourself longing for the good old days, you leak power. The same is true of looking too far ahead and hoping the future will provide you with certainty. Driven by ambition, you might wonder too long in a place with no substance, and forget that who you are, and forget that you are here today. The past and future are illusions. Whenever you leave the present moment, you're disconnecting from your inherent power to manifest your reality with true substance. Neither past nor future can give you what you need. Now is all that counts. Come back from those eternities and be here now. All will be well, and miracles will appear as if by magic in the perfect timing of spirit. I'm hearing something like you're a distraction. Okay, that's how your person feels. Something about distraction. Something about timing could be off with this. Now, we'll see what the rest of the reading says. With the Queen of Wands in the reverse, this is someone here, whether it's what you trigger in your person or this is how they see you. They could see you as being somebody, or I should say the energy of the Queen of Wands reversed is somebody that might feel intimidated, might feel restless, insecure, jealous, stuff like that, okay? With the Seven of Wands in the reverse, let me see, is that defensive energy? Defense is coming down, wanting to come down. Tell me more about the Seven of Wands reversed. The King of Wands reversed. Wow. Who you are to your person, pile one, you might be somebody that your person feels like they have to keep up with. You know, I am picking up on matching and mirroring energy too. So, you know, just kind of apply this the way that it fits for you. Both of you could be feeling the same way about each other. There is a vibe here of wanting defenses between the two of you to come down, but neither one of you are really budging at this point in time. And this connection overall could really just be taking both of you out of, you guys could be triggering each other quite a bit and taking each other out of each other's energy. So for instance, you know, whoever the King of Wands is, whoever the Queen of Wands is, you could be bringing out the worst attributes in each other, okay, for who you are to your person. Things could feel stuck in this connection. Progress could have felt like it's stalling. To your person, you could be somebody that reminds them of unresolved pain from the past or maybe unmet hopes for the future. Unrealized potential. Or potential that wasn't ever really fully tapped into. You could be someone that your person feels that they need to face, but they're having a hard time doing that. Possibly because your presence triggers their inability to stay emotionally grounded or aligned. You could represent to your person the tension between who they are versus who they think they need to be. They could be avoiding you right now, not because of who you are, but because of what you highlight within them. You could be kind of shining a mirror on your person and showing them and maybe spotlighting within them where they are not living authentically or where they're not being present. Your person could feel like they've lost their sense of divine timing or flow around you. Again, there's just kind of this energy of you and or your connection, and this could be happening to both of you, like the connection itself booting you guys, like knocking you guys into your wounding. You guys could be triggering each other's wounds, very much so, especially with the King of Wands in the reverse and the Queen of Wands reverse. This is heavy mirroring energy. You could be perfectly personifying your person's shadow and vice versa. They could be perfectly personifying your shadow. They could be your shadow personified and vice versa. Your person could see you as somebody who, or they could associate you with some kind of a lesson they're needing to learn, or some kind of a karmic loop they might feel trapped in. And that lesson or that loop isn't something they're really ready to face or integrate yet. That Seven of Wands, there's almost kind of a hope, you know, there's kind of a hope shining through with that, with the Seven of Wands in the reverse. Because it can reflect defensiveness breaking down, even in the midst of feeling overwhelmed. That could also talk about maybe you and or your person feeling like you can't win. There's some, like you just can't win with that person, or they feel like they can't win with you. Again, I'm picking up a lot of mirrored energy, so just keep that in mind, because I am going to go ahead and just kind of switch to who you are to your person, but just keep in mind a lot of this feels like it's mirrored, okay? What they're feeling feels very similar to what you're feeling when it comes to this connection. So, you know, your person might feel like they can't win with you, no matter like what it is that they do. It's not going to quite measure up, or no matter what they do, they're not able to really please you. They could be feeling very emotionally exhausted or unsure how to hold their position with you, or how to meet your energy, spinning their wheels when it comes to that. You know, your person with that Seven of Wands in the reverse, that could be your person feeling very vulnerable around you, but not feeling comfortable in that vulnerability. There could be a sense of like just something about you and your presence causes your person's defenses or their guard to come down, but they don't necessarily like that. So yeah, who you are to your person, they're in their energy, there is kind of the sense coming through that they feel like you're somebody they need to guard themselves against for some reason. Yeah, so right now, pile one, who you are to your person, you're a mirror. It feels like the connection itself is a mirror for both of you. And it's a very powerful mirror, shining on both of you, reflecting both of your guys' wounds. As I feel like your guys' triggers are just kind of hitting off each other, you know, perpetuating maybe some very toxic karmic loops. I'm hearing something too about psychic. There might be a very highly psychic, telepathic connection between the two of you. Yeah, a very powerful mirror. So you're reflecting the discomfort of the past that maybe your person hasn't yet healed from. Possibly a future they feel like they are not able to yet claim. And a present moment that they've been wanting to disconnect from, flee from, escape from. But the mirror that is you in this connection, it's like, it keeps throwing up on that screen things that make them feel very uncomfortable, things that they need to face, things that they need to heal from and integrate. You anchor them into the present moment, and the present moment isn't always the present moment, especially if there's a lot of active shadow aspects going on or being triggered. The present moment could feel very dark, very challenging, very uncomfortable. And so I can see here where maybe this could be triggering attachment wounds, abandonment wounds. Yeah, who you are to your person, pile one, is very challenging. Okay, not a walk in the park, I'm hearing them say. You awaken their power and their insecurity. you show them how they're not present in themselves. And so for you to let you know, pile one, that being true, if your person is having a difficult time meeting themselves, they're going to have an even more difficult time meeting you. Okay. And who you are to your person, they could feel that you and this connection with you is very fated or karmic, but they're resisting the growth. Okay. You could be triggering a lot of flightiness within your person. Heavy on triggering abandonment and attachment wounds here. Okay. Let's see, what else are we doing here? Okay, what we're gonna do now, let's find out their thoughts and feelings towards you. One more shuffle. Pile one's person, their honest, true thoughts and feelings towards pile one in the connection. Their honest, true thoughts and feelings towards pile one in the connection. I'm going to note that that's on the side. Their honest, true thoughts and feelings towards pile one in their connection. The first thing that's coming up, pile one, is you're somebody that they wouldn't mind maybe having something more with. Like, I don't know what the status of your guys' connection is. Okay. I don't know if there is commitment here, if it's been something that's more casual, but there is an essence coming through, or a sense coming through with your person that you're somebody that they don't mind committing to, or that they wouldn't mind committing to. But there's a limit to that. There's a cap on that. For some reason, your person has a thing about maybe possibly getting married. I am hearing something too about making it official. Okay. So there's something here, pile one, like their honest, true thoughts and feelings. You are somebody that they can see themselves committing to. They can see themselves being exclusive with. But there's something about making it official in terms of like making it public and then getting married, that they're not at this point in time, for whatever reason, they're not very comfortable with. Okay, what they're saying is the reason why they're not so sure about making it public and making it public, making it official, getting married, is because they're not sure, especially in a lot of the energies. They're basing that off of your guys' past history. This is not attached to their experiences with someone this is attached to you specifically. Your guys' experience. This could be there could be a lot of breakup to make up. There could be a lot of jealousy going on here, a lot of fights, a lot of arguments, a lot of conflict. They don't want to go through the process of making things public and then getting married, only for you guys to be constantly in this breakup to make up, cycle. Let's get one more. You got me over the ex / the third party. That could have been a point of contention between the two of you too. Maybe when you met this person, they were still hung up on an ex or a third party. Yeah, look at that. Back of the deck, there's someone else, but it is showing up at the back of the deck. Let's find out. Because back of the deck energy can mean multiple things. It could mean that, that person's influence could be weakening. Your person could be in the process of getting over that person. This could just mean an ex or a third party that is still in the background somewhere for some reason. Let's look at that real quick. Let's see. There's someone else. Okay, they're on their way out. Whoever that third party is, they're on their way out. It is funny to note, though, when I saw this Ace of Wands, right before it fell to the floor, it was actually in the reverse position, but it flipped itself back up. Let me look. Okay, all right, yeah. They're on their way out, but there is some energies here for whatever reason this past person, whoever that ex slash the third party is, they tend to pop up. They tend to return for some reason, and it, a sexual nature, it feels like, with the Ace of Wands here. It doesn't always have to be. The Ace of Wands can talk about like that connection like popping up, and that could be another karmic loop that your person is needing to close out. That past person or whoever this third party slash ex is popping up, trying to reignite the cycle again. Okay, it's not always sexual, and in fact I actually did clarify that, and it's the answer to that is no. Okay, but it is somebody that seems like maybe they do tend to cycle back in your person's life, trying to get things reignited again. But we have it here a couple of times, your person saying, letting you know, pile one, that you got them over that third party. They, it's a thing where you helped them not be hung up on that connection with that third party anymore. Okay, and so they could still be connected on social media. I just saw the Page of Swords at the back of the deck, but that the influence of that person is weakening. I'll put it that way. Okay. What do you want to do? Let's move this up here real quick, because what we're gonna do, we're gonna still do some clarifying. I'm talking out loud, thinking out loud, you guys. My bad. I do that sometimes. Okay, here we go. Let's see. We have, I don't know what to do or what to say. And the other flip side of that says, I'm waiting for the right time. If you guys are in separation, let me see what that's going on with that. I don't know what to do or what to say. Yeah, there might be some confusion or some fears. What's the moon about here? There's Cancer, Pisces energy coming through with that. Okay. I'm hearing they don't know what to do or what to say to get back into your good graces again, or they don't know what to do or what to say. There's always feeling like there's conflict between the two of you. We got the Queen of Wands now showing up in the upright position, but it came out with the Five of Wands. Your person just, they associate conflict. They do want a resolution to that conflict, they're saying, because they love it when you're in, the healthy expression of your energy with the Queen of Wands in the upright position here. That would be somebody that's confident, loosely attached, okay? Not hyper attached or toxically attached, securely attached, I should say. Confident, secure, passionate, warm, receptive towards them and their energy. They don't know, there's kind of a sense here that maybe, what's going on with this Five of Wands here? They're afraid to trigger you. They're afraid to say or do the wrong thing that's going to trigger you, okay? They are seeing you as somebody, though, inherently as someone who is very, I'm hearing spicy, okay? They see you as someone who's very spicy. And they're saying that sometimes, that spiciness is welcomed. They enjoy that spiciness, but where they don't like the spiciness is when it's, when you're angry, when you're enraged. And so, they do enjoy the spiciness that you bring to the table. Yes, the warmth, the softness, and the receptiveness, but there's also something about your energy, like you can hold your own with your person, and they actually like that. They don't like it, though, when, that spiciness turns against them. Yeah. Yeah, so your person's feeling confused. What's I'm waiting for the right time? For those of you where you are separated, your person could just be kind of keeping distance from you, not reaching out, you know, waiting for maybe the tensions between the two of you to simmer down or to calm down. Tell me more about I'm waiting for the right time. I got the Sun, a lot of fire and passion. Yeah, they're waiting for the Sun. Tell me more about the Sun here. There you go. They're waiting for themselves too. There's something about, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I was picking up earlier. There's kind of like a psychic telepathic connection between the two of you. They can just tell somehow. They just know that you're in a better space to receive them. And this goes for themselves too. They're saying it's for themselves too because the Sun with the King of Wands. It's not just for them, but it's also for you. They're waiting for both of you to feel more like yourself again. They're waiting for your connection or for the energy between the two of you to go back to, oh, wow, and look, there's the Queen of Wands in the upright position at the back of the deck. Yeah. This feels like two people wanting to come together, wanting to be the perfect match for each other, and at your guys' core, you are. I like that we have the Sun kind of in the middle of the Queen of Wands and the King of Wands. You know, if it was joy and peace and happiness and just, you know, everything that the Sun implies, transparency even, both of you are able to be in your respective energies, the Queen of Wands in the upright position and the King of Wands in the upright position. But I feel like what's going on, or what has been going on up until this point, what's been between the two of you has been the antithesis of the Sun, which would be like the shadow, the devil, right? The Tower, just more challenging energies like that. Maybe even the Five of Swords for some of you, where things between you and your person can get really mean-spirited. I'm hearing trigger happy, okay? Trigger happy in terms of like your shadows just bouncing triggers off of each other, just igniting triggers rather than igniting glimmers, right? If you haven't heard, like, you know, a glimmer is kind of like the opposite of a trigger. It's like, you know, rather than triggering things that are very difficult in each other, when those shadows have been healed and integrated, you guys will trigger glimmers, right? Which is happy things, happy thoughts, happy, you know, happy things. So yeah, this could almost be like your person too saying they're waiting for things between the two of you to just get better, okay? Maybe before they reach out. Tell me about you got me over my ex / the third party. Could be could have been an earth sign. Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. Could have been somebody that they were committed to. Somebody they may have been married to, they were with long term. Could have been somebody that maybe helped with finances. And look, at the back of the deck, yeah, whoever this third party, it feels like this person keeps popping up or keeps cycling back. Okay, but again, that connection, that bond, or that cord, whatever it is, it's not always a bond, right? You can be connected to somebody, but it's not always a bond. It could just be a toxic attachment. It's weakening though, okay? Let's find out more. Let's find out where you stand with them. Where does pile 1 currently stand with their person? Oh, wow. Let's get one more. Where does pile 1 currently stand with their person? All right, they figured it out. They know exactly who you are to them. Okay, so we have the Sword and the Rose, we have Twin Flames, and we have Abundance at the back of the deck. Yeah, we got separation. So many of you are separated right now. You're not talking. If you're not like broken up or, you know, officially separated, this is just maybe you guys taking a break from each other. Maybe you're just not talking. Maybe you're just letting like tension simmer down, you know, taking a hiatus or something like that. But where you stand with your person, they miss you. And if you guys aren't separated, then there is a sadness here because of there's like a divide, okay? And what's dividing you is pain, shadows, fears. It also says ensure the future. Your person wants this with you, but they're just not sure they're going to be able to have it. Okay. Now with Sword and the Rose, this is clarity, truth, revelation, solidarity, force, honor, protection, and power. Twin Flame says yin yang, zen, balance, union, duality, coupling, complement each other. Abundance says keep a positive mindset, manifest exactly what you want in gratitude and bliss. Okay, so, you know, at the core, who you are to your person, you're everything they've ever wanted. With the caveat of everything I've always wanted if we could only just get our shit together as a couple, that kind of an energy. And you can get your shit together as a couple as long as, you know, you guys are doing your respective like shadow work, healing wounds, healing, you know, selecting different versions of each other. Because it seems like right now, you know, both of you guys, again, you're showing up as a Queen of Wands reverse, they're showing up as a King of Wands reverse, and that's because, you know, that's just what twin flame or twin flame-esque connections can do. They act as 100% mirrors, perfect mirrors, okay? As you work with the mirror rather than against it, then, you know, you start to restore back to yourself, you know, the original blueprint that you came here with, or that you intended to come here with, right? Let's see what's going on with abundance. Actually, let's look at the Sword and Rose. Again, this is clarity, truth, revelation, solidarity, force, honor. That could talk about maybe the two of you needing to have a very transparent, open, honest conversation with each other. The Sword and the Rose. Tell me more there. Yeah. You know, you could be best friends. You might even be best friends. It could be one of those connections where it's like, that's my person. And a lot of the times I can't stand them, but they're my person, right? And this is, again, a lot of this is all mirrored, okay? Especially with twin flames here. They're very clear about who you are to them. They very much love your company. They have fun when they're with you. When you guys are getting along, it's paradise, they're saying. It's perfect. Everything is just exactly the way that they could ever want it to be. It's fun. It's merriment. It's, you know, yeah, it's just like best friends. Tell me more about twin flames. Yeah, you guys are triggering each other right now. The twin flame-esque, and I say esque because, you know, not everybody believes in the twin flame dynamic, but whenever a twin flame, you know, card shows up within the context of a love reading, it shows a connection where it's unmatched, it's unrivaled, it's never been experienced before, and it's very magnetic, very alluring, and it serves as a mirror. And so, you know, if there's any active shadow work that needs to be done, that's what's going to be reflected, okay? That's what that connection is going to do. And it does serve as a mirror so that you can see within yourself maybe what attachments or aversions that you need to work on, you know, releasing, and the same for your person. The fact that the Page of Cups in the reverse came up, though, there still feels like in this connection, there's a lot of work that needs to be done. You know, taking it back to the basics, it's that kind of an energy. That could also be talking about your person maybe feeling like either they don't feel comfortable expressing themselves from the heart, or they feel like they don't have that freedom to do that with you. Okay, what's going on with abundance? Where you stand with your person feels, they can see that, you know, if you guys can get your shit together, right, as a couple, that this is the Garden of Eden. It's paradise, right? You guys, and they may even look at your guys' connection, because there is a card in this deck that says paradise, right? What this feels like your person is saying is, you know, if pile one and I could get on the same page, there's nothing that could stop us. We could live a very prosperous, abundant, and wealthy life, okay? If your person is into manifestation, they could see that both you and them have heightened, very powerful, acute manifestation abilities, as long as you're able to keep your focus on what it is that you want to experience, rather than set on what you have created so far that you don't want more of, right? They could see your guys' connection as being one of very, very, very fertile ground. You just got to be careful what seed you're planting in that ground, because the soil is not, the soil isn't picky, right? The soil itself is not picky. So, you know, if you're planting like, you know, shit seeds, then you're going to get, you know, an abundance of shit trees, right? And so your person is just saying, like, they can see the potential. If we could just get our shit together as a couple, it could be magnificent, right? It could be everything we've ever wanted. All right, let's find out what's going. Actually, let me look at separation real quick. Tell me more about separation. Yeah, it's being clarified by the 8 of Swords. This is being trapped in a prison of your own making, because of the thoughts, because of your focus and stuff like that. And so this could be a call on both sides, you know, to maybe switch your focus. If you guys are, if you've ever thought about, or, you know, maybe just felt a curiosity about, you know, manifesting in a specific person, just keep in mind that, you know, in the infinite field of quantum possibilities, all realities are available. Okay, so there is a reality, there's a timeline where your specific person, whoever this person that's on your mind, is the exact version of them that you want them to be, right? That's why free will is kind of, you know, people look at free will as if it's kind of silly, especially in the manifestation community, because, you know, there's infinite versions of you out there, right? And so, you know, that's why you are able to manifest in a specific person in the exact kind of dynamic and version and reality with them that you know that you want to. All you have to do is select that version, right? Yeah, there's a version and a reality of your person where they don't choose you, they don't want you, and stuff like that. And as long as your focus is maintained on the version of your person that you don't want to keep experiencing, that's what, you know, that's the culprit, is your focus. The reason why you guys are experiencing separation in this dynamic with your person, or the reason why you continue experiencing your person in a version that you wish that they weren't, is because that's where your focus is. You keep selecting that same person, that same version, that same timeline, that same reality, just by default, because, you know, where your focus is at with that 8 of Swords here. That's just a side note for some of you. Okay, let's move on. Let's find out what they want. What do you want with pile? What do you want with pile 1? Extravagant gestures. They want to walk the walk, okay? This also says making it up to you. Gestures from the heart. What do you want with pile 1 in this connection? We also have habitual liar. Constantly lying, can't hide in lies anymore, and lies exposed. Okay, let me see. Let's get one more. Actually, it's too many. I only want one more. I'll take two if they come out. That was too many, though. Give me one more. Pile one's person. What does pile one's person want with pile one? We got wish come true, but in the reverse. Yeah, see, someone's shadow is very active here. Dating at the bottom of the deck. It says ready to start dating, meeting new love interests, and getting over someone. Let me see what direction that's going in. Tell me about dating. That's showing up at the back of the deck. Okay, it's not necessarily meeting somebody else. And they're already over the past. And so this is talking about them ready to start dating you, okay? Tell me more about habitual liar for what pile one's person wants with them in this connection. Okay, yeah, being clarified by the Queen of Wands. This is your person, they don't want to lie to themselves anymore. And remember under that we had the sword and the rose. If there has been lying here, there's kind of a, there's a desire to not want to have to do that. Again, that's bringing me back to the sun that was showing up earlier. They don't want any lies between the two of you, okay? Whether that's them lying to you, them lying to themselves, or you lying to yourself, or anything like that. Like, they don't want any more lies separating the two of you. They don't want to feel the need to have to lie, okay? There is a desire coming from your person, pile one, to be able to feel like they have the freedom to tell you the truth, or to tell you what their truth or their reality is, without fearing maybe some kind of pushback or lashing out from you. And the fact that it's coming out with the Queen of Wands in the upright position, a lot of that feels like it's unfounded. This feels like maybe a fear that your person is projecting onto you, because this is the second or the third time that the Queen of Wands has come out in the upright position, okay? That's you in your power, feeling secure, feeling confident, and somebody that's in their power, feeling secure and feeling confident, can handle whatever someone's truth might be, okay? Even if that person were to be like, I don't want this anymore, a Queen of Wands, they might have feelings about it, but it's not going to knock that Queen of Wands out of her energy. She's still going to be confident. She's still going to feel secure, because her confidence and her secureness is self-sourced, right? She's self-possessed. A Queen of Wands is not sourcing their confidence or their security from outside sources, especially for those of you that understand that the 3D physical world is merely a mirror, right? It doesn't make sense to expect a mirror to smile at you without you smiling first. It's just a reflection, right? Tell me about wish come true. You know what that feels like? That feels like your person almost feeling afraid to get exactly what they're wanting, because of for someone to have exactly what they're wanting, that it's a lot to lose, right? There's, your person is associating risk with getting exactly what they want from you and from this connection. That would give them something that they feel like they would have to fight for. And I can understand that coming through from someone who might still be doing a lot of battle with like their own shadow or own inner demons and stuff, because it's like, if they're still battling inner demons or their shadow or even addictions, they feel like they have a lot that they could stand to lose. Tell me more about wish come true showing up in the reverse. With extravagant gestures here and dating at the bottom of the deck, this is your person wanting to court you, okay? Wanting to take you out on dates, wanting to do more fun things with you, spend quality time with you, create memories with you, take more pictures and create more memories with you, stuff like that. Tell me about wish come true showing up in the reverse. Man, how many times has your energy come out here, pile one. Queen of Wands in the upright position again, okay? Your person almost fears, you know, you could intimidate your person very much just because you're somebody they see that, you know, so yeah, the Queen of Wands showing up in the reverse here in the initial spread for who you are to your person. This is them almost wishing they could knock you off they're saying knock you off your high horse. That's their shadow talking. See, the King of Wands would never say that. The King of Wands in the reverse might, but the King of Wands in the upright never would, right? So your person's shadow is very vocal in this reading, very active. Their fear, right? They don't want you to be in your power. It intimidates them because they're not in their power, right? So yeah, this is self-sabotage coming through because it might be easier for them to walk away from a Queen of Wands in the reverse, somebody that's insecure, somebody that doesn't know their worth, somebody that, you know, whatever. It's harder for them to walk away from a Queen of Wands in the upright position. Not that they want to walk away, but again, that's stemming from your person's fear. There's a fear of loss here. A fear of abandonment coming through, definitely. Especially with that Five of Pentacles in the reverse that we saw earlier on in the reading. All right, pile one, that was your reading. Thank you so much for hanging out with me again today. If this resonated, do me a favor, take a moment, if you would, smash the like button for me. It's a wonderful way to energetically donate to the channel. Comment below, let me know that you picked this pile. All right, share some deets, share some tea, whatever the case may be. If you haven't become part of the family, you can do that by subscribing now. Don't forget about the notification bell so you don't miss a reading or an announcement. And pile one, I will see you guys at your next Pick a Card Love reading. Bye, guys. Hi, pile two. Welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, what's up? My name is Michelle. We're doing another Pick a Card Love reading. We are tapping in and channeling your person's, who you are to them, okay? Where you stand with your person and what do they want with you and with your guys' connection, okay? So just keep in mind it's a general reading. Anything that resonates, you can do whatever you want with it, claim it, whatever. If something's not quite landing, just drop it, leave it behind for whomever that message might be resonating for. All right, you guys, so I do have personal readings if you would like for me to bar everybody else's energy and just tap exclusively into you and your person. The description box below has all the booking details. I have a lot of readings available in the specific person category, including this one. I have a reading just like this exact format and everything. It's called Who Are You to Them? And then there's other readings available. Many of them are just $25, so go see which ones call out to you, okay? So you guys were drawn to the skull. I don't know if this is opal or what exactly it is, but I like it a lot. All right, your person, let's see, who are you to your person? We've got time to go. The number 45 could be significant. The number 9. Ooh, we also have the World. Okay, so there is some kind of an ending. Now, this could be an ending to your guys' connection itself. It could just be maybe ending a certain kind of a dynamic between the two of you. We'll see, okay? This is not casual energy, though. The fact that we have time to go and the World says a lot. We also have the Five of Swords, the Six of Coins, which is the Six of Pentacles in this deck. We also have the Seven of Cups. I'm picking up a message like, where do we go from here? Okay, so like the old is done. It's over with. The old is dying off. Interesting again to note, the number 45 breaks down into a 9, so it's not quite an ending, but it's getting there, right? And so there kind of feels, I'm feeling like kind of a big question mark here. There's an acknowledgement coming through in your person's energy when it comes to you for who you are to them. The old needs to be over and done with, but now what? Where do we go from here, right? I'm not picking up any clean clean endings here, okay? There's a lingering question, like, what does this mean for our connection itself? Do we just, you know, put each other in the past? Or, you know, is there a possibility to maybe create something together moving forward, okay? And that kind of feels like that's where your person is at when it comes to you into this connection. There is, again, a recognition that the way things have been going needs to not go that way anymore. But we'll see. We'll see what your person, where they're at in regards to everything else. Let's see. I'll put this over here. Let's find out their thoughts and feelings towards you. Let's see which way they're leaning, all right? What they're wanting, all that good stuff. Okay. All right, pile two's person. Their true and honest thoughts and feelings towards pile two, please. I feel so foolish for fumbling you. Okay. This is them taking accountability, maintaining no contact. Yeah, many of you are not even talking to your person. This could be an official breakup, okay? They want to make you a top priority moving forward. It says at the bottom of the deck, it says, you're my peaceful escape, my happy place. Okay. So, you know, this could be an ending that you guys initiated or some kind of a boundary that you put down. I'm not picking up on any clean endings here, though. I'm feeling kind of an essence coming through of someone putting down a hardline boundary, putting their foot down, like maybe essentially letting your person know it's like you don't want it to be over, but you can't continue going on in the same dynamic that it's been, right? It's got to change. It's got to be something different. For some reason, though, it doesn't feel like the two of you are on the same page about what the future holds for this connection. It could be like what your person is wanting versus what you're wanting are two different things here. I don't know, let's see. Because your person's coming through in this essence, like you're my peaceful place, you know, you're my peaceful escape, like you're your person's happy place, okay? With that Five of Swords showing up in the reverse in the initial spread, this almost feels like, you know, it wasn't necessarily that things were like really bad. It just feels like the two of you were not on the same page about either the pacing of the connection or the overall direction of where the connection was headed. Okay, like you guys may have had different visions as far as pacing and or the outcome goes. Okay, maybe one of you wanted it to be something more committed, maybe the other person wanted to maintain something more casual, or maybe somebody wanted to get married and that wasn't someone's, you know, vision for the connection, something like that. But it looks like and I don't know if this is anything that's changed. Okay, so your person says that they feel so foolish for fumbling you. Okay, this is them acknowledging that they had a good thing with you and they screwed it up somehow. Okay, so let's find out. Tell me more about I feel so foolish for fumbling you. There's some things that were left unsaid, okay, where your person's concerned. They wish that they would have expressed more to you what you meant to them. They wish they would have told you that more often. This feels like, you know, they may have held a lot in internally. There's a lot of feeling, a lot of depth there, but they didn't show it. They didn't express it. They don't want to give up, though. They don't want you to give up on this connection. Okay, so who you are to your person, you are someone that they would love to be able to change for, but there could be some things that maybe need to be changed in your person and or in their life that may be a big ask, right? Not that you are asking them directly for something. There just seems to be something fundamentally at odds between who your person needs to be or who they need to become in order for them to be able to meet you where you want them to meet you at, okay? Tell me more. They're saying they want to do better. There's something about the how, though, yeah. They don't know how. There's a version of your person they feel that they need to become, and maybe even you feel that they need to become in order to, you know, move forward with you. But they're currently feeling blocked in that regard. Your person could maybe need to grow up. They could need to mature. I'm picking up a very distinct impression that your person knows there's a version of them, if they could develop into that, grow into that person, right? That could give you exactly what you want and would feel at home in that. There's something coming through about, you know, your person would love to be able to give you what you want, but whoever they are as a person and at their core, they're just not that person yet. There's a lot of growing up they need to do. And for some reason, they're feeling blocked from becoming that person. Tell me more about maintaining no contact. They go back and forth with that. There's the Five of Swords again. This is them just trying to keep the peace. They're maintaining no contact because they think that's what you want. And maybe that's, you know, maybe that's true. The reason why we have a big old question mark at the over this whole thing, like where do we go from here, is because and you know, there is kind of an impression coming through in this energy for who you are to your person. They might feel like you in this connection is something they're needing to release, even if it's temporarily, right? Because they're not currently who they need to be in order to give you the kind of life or the relationship dynamic that you're wanting. And so there's kind of an acknowledgement here, like it's not what they want, okay? They don't want to be separated from you. But, you know, if there could be something too, like that might be the only way to preserve or even maybe have a chance at some point in the future with you. Now, they are realizing there's risks involved with that, right? But there is kind of a maturity coming through in your person, understanding and realizing if they try to force themselves to give you what you want when they're not embodying the version of themselves that would be able to do that easily with you, that it's going to be even more messed up than what it may have already been messed up. I hope that makes sense. So your person isn't reaching out and they're maintaining no contact because they're not trying to bring any more chaos or conflict or discord to you and to your guys' connection. There's almost a sense of wanting to preserve what you guys have for the possibility of maybe being able to come together at some point in the future. But your person is understanding if they try to force themselves to be ready for something that they're not inherently ready for, that's going to create even more, you know, they're going to fumble you even harder than maybe what they fumbled you already. You know, they're afraid that if they force themselves to try to be ready for something that they're not yet ready for, they're going to end up messing up and screwing things up so badly that you'll just walk away from them permanently forever and never look back nor want anything to do with them and something like that, okay? Tell me about making you a top priority. Oh, this is them wanting to give you the commitment, wanting to give you the marriage, wanting to give you whatever it is you're wanting in the exact way that you're wanting it, okay? They want to do that. What they're saying, and I'm, you know, of course, you know, put this how you see fit, but this is the message I'm literally hearing. They want to make an honest woman out of you. And that's usually what people say when they talk about getting married, getting engaged. Like, when are you going to make an honest man or woman out of that person, right? Meaning, when are you going to marry them, right? And so for those of you where that resonates, you know, that is something that your person is wanting to do. The Queen of Pentacles energy is somebody that, you know, just Pinnacle energy period in the court sense, you know, the King and the Queen of Pentacles, you know, those are people you commit to, you invest in. Those are people that you show up for day in and day out at a regular basis, right? Because it's understood that the Queen of Pentacles is very fertile soil, and whatever you invest into a Queen of Pentacles, you're going to receive back multiplied. This is how your person sees you. The problem is they're seeing you as very fertile soil, but they're seeing themselves as not having the best seed, right? And as I was saying in another reading, you know, soil is indiscriminate. It doesn't matter what seed you put in there. If that seed is good seed, I should say, if it's if that seed is not a dud, right, then that soil is going to grow whatever the components of that seed is. And so if your person is sowing seeds of chaos and disappointment and, you know, inconsistency, it's like, you know, they're going to receive that tenfold, right? They're realizing that they don't have good seed to sow. They don't have any seed that they want multiplied right now. And so, you know, this is them kind of like understanding, taking some personal accountability and responsibility for maybe the ways that they showed up. Very much so with "I feel so foolish for fumbling you." They're realizing they had a great thing going here and they messed it up because they weren't ready for it. Okay. Let's move on. Let's find out where you stand with them. Where does pile 2 currently stand with their person? We got talking. Okay, so they still want to talk. They want to keep the lines of communication open, even though they are maintaining no contact, and they're, for the most part, your person, you know, is leaving you alone. That feels like it's coming from a space, though. They're leaving you alone. They're leaving you alone out of respect for you, okay? But they are interested in talking to you. They do want to have a conversation with you. It might be more on the lighthearted side. There's, again, you know, there is a love call in this deck, so that's not really, they still may have a thing about opening up and expressing themselves from the heart, okay? Going back to that Page of Cups that was showing up in the reverse earlier. Let's find more. Where does pile 2 currently stand with their person? There might be still like a conversation they want to have with you, or talk about something, or just they want to keep the lines of communication open. Where does pile 2 currently stand with their person? Engagement ring, but it's showing up in the reverse. Yeah, they're not ready for that. Your person just may not be ready for, you know, commitment, for exclusivity. They may not be ready for that. Let's get one more. Where does pile 2 currently stand with their person? Kisses at the bottom of the deck. It says unconditionally loving, giving and receiving affection and falling in love. It's at the bottom of the deck, though. You know, whoever your person is, however they have been showing up in this connection so far, there's so much more that they wanted to be to you, that they wanted to do, but they just, it's almost like they just didn't have the guts to do it. And then we got Axe, but it's showing up in the reverse as well. Axe in the upright position says break up, separation, stop the pattern, silent treatment. They want to have a conversation with you. That's where you stand with them. You know, there's a part of your person that's like, you know, let's just kind of cut our losses and go our separate ways before things get worse, right? Then there's a part of your person that's like, you know, but can we still maybe maintain, I'm not picking up where they want to be friends in terms of like being friend zoned, right? But they still want to leave a door open. Let me find out what's going on with engagement ring in the reverse. They definitely don't want separation, okay? They don't, if you guys are broken up, they don't want the breakup. That's not what they wanted. They understand it, but it's not what they wanted. They don't, where you stand with them, they don't want to abandon this connection. Let's see, tell me about, they're having a hard time shutting off though, that whatever pattern is keeping them playing very small, okay? Keeping them anchored in whatever this version of them is that has them playing very small and not able to meet you and match your energy. Tell me about engagement ring in the reverse. Oh, wow. Okay. This is really, okay. I mean, it is kind of specific. Your person they don't mind. Look at this. They don't mind committing to you. They don't mind you being their one and only, and they don't mind being your one and only. They have fun when they're with you. There might be some issues with third parties, though. That's not the strongest of energies. The Three of Cups doesn't always mean a third party. This can just talk about your person. Like, they could have fun being with you and only you. They could have fun like that. But there's something that they have against actually getting married. There's some resistance to that. So they're saying, like, yeah, they have no problem. Like, they'll show up for you every day. They'll call you every day. They'll do all of that. But there's something about, what is that? Okay. It's getting to that point. Something about getting to that point. And it could just be that your person, you know, because the King of Pentacles is on the, this is the Ace of Pentacles, right? And if you have all of the cards in the Pentacle suit listed out, you got Ace of Pentacles over here and the King of Pentacles way over there. There's kind of like quite a bit to get to that point. Your person may feel when it comes to you into this connection and who they need to become in order to be the King of Pentacles to your Queen of Pentacles, there's a lot that they still need to go to. Like, you know, they're still in their infancy when it comes to it. There's a lot of growth that they're still needing to experience. It's there. The seed for that is there. It's there. But number one, it needs to be planted. And then the process needs to be, you know, the growth process needs to kick off. Tell me about Axe in the reverse. Yeah, that's it. They don't want to sacrifice this connection, but they're saying they're willing to do so if it means maybe possibly preserving a chance that the two of you can be together again at some point. Your person is they're really clocking the gap between who they are now and who they need to become in order to step up and take the throne next to you, okay? Let's find out. Let's see what's going on with what they want. What does pile 2's person want with pile 2 in their connection with pile 2? First love. Wow. It says no one compares to you. First true love and new love experiences. Let's get a couple more. Proof. Gossip. Hold on. And then protection at the bottom of the deck says doesn't want to hurt you, protecting connection, protective over you. Yeah, they want to preserve this connection. They want to preserve it. Okay. Proof says needing confirmation, searching for answers, and exaggerating minor issues. Gossip says gossiping about you, worried others will talk and heard rumors about you. Let me see. They want to protect this connection against maybe gossip, against, you know, maybe what some naysayers may have to say. They want to know that they're safe. They want to know that this connection with you is safe from maybe outside influence for what they're wanting. What I'm picking up they want, it's like they kind of want to put, you know, if they could, it's like, you know, me and pile 2 would just live in this little bubble and just do our own thing, and, you know, everybody would leave us alone. So I don't know if there has been, or if your person fears a lot of backlash for maybe the 2 of you coming together, or if there's just something going on, like your person might be clocking the fact that people might have a lot of negative things to say about the 2 of you coming together for some reason. Something about outside influence, though. Your person wants to shield this connection from negative outside influences. What's proof? Yeah. This feels like your person's nervous system, or, you know, their subconscious looking for proof that it's safe to sow that Ace of Pentacles seed that we seen earlier, for the purposes of growing into being a King of Pentacles to your Queen of Pentacles. That's a fear-based thing. They want to know that it's safe for them to invest all of their time, energy, and efforts into you, into this connection. They have some anxiety about that for some reason. It's not coming out in this reading why that might be. You're the person they want to end up with, that's for sure. Something's going on, though, with this engagement ring in the reverse. That feels like it's probably the linchpin, or what do they call that? The wrench in the engine. Why is engagement ring in the reverse? There's the sun. Leo energy. Yeah, put that off camera just in case. Why is the sun getting in the way? What's going on? That could be an actual person, okay? It could be a Leo. Somebody very fiery. Tell me more about the sun. Justice in the reverse. Yeah, it could be maybe something karmic. A lesson that hasn't been learned yet. Maybe somebody that, this could be your person not, yeah, they may not just want to get married with Justice in the reverse. They may not want to make it legal, okay, for some reason. With the sun coming out first, your person is very clear about that fact. There's something about marriage or something about legalities that they're not wanting. They may not want those things coming to light or something like that. Okay, we have the Hermit coming out. So there might be something here. I don't know. Yeah, do you have a lot of friends, or do they see you as somebody that's really popular? They might actually fear maybe what your friends and family or your following or your audience might have to say about, you know, them. They might have some skeletons in the closet that they may not want to be known. Something about a background check is coming through, you guys, especially with proof there. Heavy on skeletons in the closet. That's not going to be for every single one of you. It could just be, you know, there might be some things about your person that they're just kind of like maybe wanting to open up about, but feeling a little bit scared. Something about marriage, though. Anything to add? Tell me about gossip. They're very afraid that people are going, not only, they're very afraid that people aren't only going to, is being with you going to require your person or have them be in the spotlight some way, shape, or form? For those of you where that resonates, that's largely part of the problem for them. They don't, for some reason, it's like they see, like, if they were to be with you somehow, they're going to be in the spotlight more, or they're going to be put under a magnifying glass or something like that. And there, again, something about monsters or skeletons in the closet. This doesn't feel necessarily like they're afraid of you finding out like what their skeletons in the closet are. It's like other people, what other people would have to say for some reason. All right, you guys, that was your reading pile 2. Thank you so much for hanging out with me again today. If you got from this reading what you came here for, do me a favor, smash the like button for me. It's a wonderful way to energetically donate to the channel. Comment below, let me know that you picked this pile. Let me know how it resonated. Become part of the family if you have not already done so by subscribing. Don't forget about the notification bell so you don't miss a reading or an announcement. Pile 2, I'll see you guys at your next Pick a Card Love reading. Bye, guys. Hey, pile 3, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Michelle. We're doing another Pick a Card Love reading. It's happening in channeling. Who are you to your person? Where do you stand with them? And what are they wanting from you and from their connection with you? Okay, so let's see. I'll just keep in mind, you guys, it's a general. It's a collective reading, so whatever resonates, take it, run with it. If something isn't quite landing, just drop that message and leave it behind for whomever it's resonating for. I do have personal readings available, including a reading just like this one called Who Are You to Them? You can find all the booking details in the description box below. There are a lot of readings available in the specific person category. Many of them are just $25. So go see which ones resonate the most with you. Okay, pile 3, you guys were drawn to the Black Obsidian Kitty. Let's see, the overall energy of who you are to your person. We have the Tribe showing up in the reverse. We also have the Six of Wands in the reverse. And we got the Page of Pentacles. And then we also have the High Priestess. So we got Pisces energy coming through. Earth energy. Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. Let's see what the Tribe in the reverse has to say. We got the number 8, could be significant. Okay. So it says, whenever you're in a community of like-minded others, there is a powerful opportunity to reap great abundance. I'm feeling like, okay, right off the bat, I'm getting a sense that your person feels like they don't quite fit in your world or in your community, or there's just they feel like a fish out of water, like they're not in their element when it comes to you for some reason. The book continues to say it's essential to ask, what can I contribute, rather than what can I get from this? Figure out a need and look to fill it. Something meaningful will manifest. Even if what manifests is small, it is a sign that the doors of opportunity will spring open. Is this the right card? Yeah, it is. Okay. There's also another meaning of this card to consider. Don't try to be all things to all people. Choose your role and be true to it, and serve from a sense of authenticity. There is no greater feeling of accomplishment than knowing you have purpose. It also says, beware of compromising your integrity in order to belong. How do you dim your light or change yourself so others will accept you in the tribe? Do you hide who you really are in order to play a role within the larger whole? This will never fulfill you. Now is the time to assess your willingness to be real. Stand tall, be you. Authenticity is true self-expression and the only way to empower yourself. Don't be afraid to be yourself and step into the role your heart tells you to take. Making yourself small bears too high a cost. And so yeah, there's an energy here of your person feeling like they don't fit into your world. There's something that your person sees as fundamentally different between the two of you, but this is on a grand, like a larger scale. Again, there's just an overall feeling of your person feeling out of their element, or like a fish out of water when it comes to you. They could feel very small when they compare themselves to you with the Six of Wands in the reverse. They could see you as somebody who's very mystical, very magical, maybe even very mysterious with the High Priestess here. That's Pisces energy showing up. Did I already say that? I think so. They feel like there's a lot that they could learn from you, or there's a lot that they are learning from you. With the Page of Pentacles here. With the tribe reversed, who you are to your person, you're someone who feels like home to them. There could be like a deep familiarity, or some kind of a deep, they feel a deep soul connection. But they are also experiencing a feeling of like either disconnection. You guys could be in separation, but there feels like there's a gap that your person is really highlighting, or they're focusing on. They could feel blocked or unable to move towards you, even though they do recognize your significance to them and in their life. But for some reason, who you are to your person, they feel like they're an outsider in your world right now. There is a sense that your guys' connection is fated, like it's destined. But they're resisting, and they're needing to reorient themselves internally before they're able to reconnect. And so I am picking up, like you guys are in separation, or there's a fundamental disconnect happening here, whether or not you guys are actually physically separated, okay, or broken up or whatever. With the Six of Wands in the reverse, your person could feel like you're somebody that they failed, or that you're someone whose expectations they fell short on. There could be a deep sense that your person has of not being enough to win your recognition or your approval or your love. Not saying that you need those things right from them, but that they might be feeling like they might have an internal need or a drive to be chosen, and they may feel like they're not being chosen by you for some reason. But this largely feels like them just not feeling like they're enough in comparison to you. I don't feel like you're doing anything. In fact, with the High Priestess, a lot of what your person, a lot of what they are experiencing just feels like their own fears and their own projections, because the High Priestess is, that's quiet energy. I'm not picking up on you telling them that they're not enough or they need to, step it up or anything like that. There's just kind of a recognition here when they compare themselves to you, for whatever reasons they might be doing that. They feel like they don't measure up, but this is in a wider scale. Like they're not just looking at you, but they're looking at your world. Like they don't fit in with maybe the same crowds or the community that you hang out with. They feel like they stick out like a sore thumb, and it makes them feel very uncomfortable. All right, with the Page of Pentacles, they do want to grow into somebody who is worthy of you. They see you as somebody who's worth building something long-term with, even if they feel like they're starting from scratch or they're still immature in comparison to you. They see you as someone who sparks their desire to learn. You also spark their desire to grow. And for those of you where it resonates, to even maybe try again. Your person may have given up on some things prior to meeting you, but you've kind of like revived their, you're like, you've given them a second wind at life. They may have resigned themselves to a standard of living, and then they met you and you kind of like reset their focus or restored their hope that maybe more is possible to them. Who you are to your person, pile 3, you're seen as, you know, a potential future for them. One that, you know, one they're serious about, a future that they know they have to work towards and not take for granted. With the High Priestess, again, they see you as mystical, mysterious, alluring. They could also see you as somebody who's very tapped in and intuitively powerful. Your person feels like you already know the truth about them. Who you are to them, they feel seen by you. But I'm hearing it as detected. They feel detected by you. Like they may want to hide, you know, or close themselves off, but you're able to read them anyway. And that makes them feel very uncomfortable. They feel like you can see behind their mask. And this is creating both a very deep respect and reverence for you, but also avoidance, okay? So you might experience this person as somebody that is very in and out, hot and cold, push and pull, somebody that runs away. They could also see you as somebody that's maybe emotionally distant or unapproachable, but not because you're cold, but because you're so attuned. Like your person can tell, like, you know, if you're keeping your distance from them, they know why. They know it's not because you're cold. They know it's because you're like in tune to like maybe some, why am I hearing it like this? Buffoonery. Shenanigans, right? You're like, no drama. They see you as somebody that, you know, you're tapped into energy. That's how they see you. They know that you can see behind their mask. And yeah, again, they both respect that, but they also fear that. So who you are to your person, you do, even though we have the tribe in the reverse, you do, to them, you do feel like somebody who is like a soul family, very connected to you, very bonded to you, very familiar, yet for whatever reasons out of reach. They see you as a safe harbor. They're not quite ready to they see you as a safe harbor. But for some reason, yeah, they see you as home. But they're always running away from home for some reason. Again, it has a lot to do with your person's perception of their own like self-worth and stuff. Maybe they feel like they disappointed you, or they don't want to disappoint you. You're not who you are to your person, pile 3. You're not someone they want to disappoint, but maybe they have. That could be another one of the reasons why they're so in and out, back and forth, is because they know they keep falling short when it comes to you in this connection. They do see you as part of their tribe, and they do see themselves as part of your tribe, but they feel that maybe you're too advanced or too radiant for them in this moment. There's a gap between who you are and who they are. So if they're pulling back, which I feel for many of you, your person is, it's not because they feel you don't matter. It's the exact opposite of that. You matter a lot to your person. And they don't like to disappoint you and let you down, even though there is an energy here that's what they've done. Your person feels like they have to evolve before they can, truly, take the throne next to you, or take the role in your life that you want them to take and that they also want to be able to take. But if we were looking at things with as far as levels go, it's like your person feels they're like on level 2 or 3 and you're like at level 8, 9, or 10. Right? There's just like there's a huge gap between who your person feels that they are now versus who they feel they need to be in order for them to match and meet your energy. And they're falling short right now. Let's find out, let's see, what their thoughts and feelings for you real quick. And then we'll find out where you stand with them and what they want. Pile 3's person. What is Pile 3's person? Honest thoughts and feelings towards Pile 3. One more shuffle. Their honest thoughts and feelings towards Pile 3, please. I'm afraid of losing you. Yeah, your person's afraid of losing you, Pile 3. I know we can work through this. What is that? I know you love me. Okay, so the good news is that they don't question your love for them. The other side of that card says, I question your love for me. They don't do that. They know from the bottom of their heart that you do love them. They know that within every fiber of their being, I'm hearing. And so, and that makes them even more reverent towards you because they know that you know, right? Whatever skeletons in the closet they might have, whatever they might be trying to hide from you, whatever mask they might be wearing that's covering up, some whatever, they know you know. And you still love them anyway. And I'm hearing, yeah, they're thankful for that. And that's another one of the reasons why you feel so much like home to them, because they know that you love them unconditionally. Not to say that you don't want better for them, but you don't need them to be better in order for you to love them. You love them right where they're at, like faults and insanities and chaos and inconsistencies and all of that, right? At the bottom of the deck says sticking to your boundaries equals mad respect for you. Yeah, at the same time that you're holding space for your person, you're also standing on business when it comes to you, right? Because you may not play about a lot of things. You may not even play about your person, but where you really don't play, Pile 3, and your person is seeing this, right? You really don't play about you. You may have at some point in time, you may have sold yourself short at some point. Maybe, I don't know if you never did, but they're seeing that with you. They know that you don't play about them, but they're also they know that you don't play about you either, right? Like you take yourself just as seriously as you take them or you take anybody else. And so your person knows you're about business when it comes to, what you want, what you choose to experience, the people that you choose to have in your space. You feel, especially with that High Priestess, you may be very, very, very selective about who you have, just in your energy, who you spend your time and your attention and your focus on. And there is an energy here of your person feeling honored that you would even want anything with them at all. But again, there's just kind of this energy of like them not wanting to let you down, even though there is indications here that they already have, maybe even multiple times. Tell me about, I know we can work through this. Oh, yeah, your person loves you. And that love is established. We got the King of Cups here. Okay, that's established love. Yeah, your person's in love with you. And that's also one of those things with your person saying like, okay, they know that the two of you can work through this because they know that you love them and they love you too. And it's almost like love, what your person is coming through, and it's like you guys can work through this because love can conquer anything, right? It could be, your person could be asking for patience as they figure this out, okay? Tell me about I'm afraid of losing you. Oh, they know? Okay, you're coming out with the Queen of Wands in that energy. They know you could. They know you have options in terms of like they know that you're not in any kind of a scarcity mindset when it comes to you know, romantic partners. Not that you want anyone else, but it's like, should it come to that, they know that you're not the kind of person, you know, that sees scarcity when it comes to stuff like that. They see you as somebody who's very magnetic, very radiant, very charming, very beautiful, inside and out, I'm hearing. They know that you could have your pick of, you know, your pick of the litter, okay? They know that. And they know that you know that. And so there, yeah, there is an energy of your person being afraid of losing you to maybe somebody who at this point in time more matches your energy, because they're not yet. They got some growing and evolving that they're needing to do, and they want to, right? Yeah, they see you as very attractive, very magnetic, very charming. They see you as somebody who doesn't have any problem meeting and finding someone else. And your person is feeling very honored that you would even consider them in that regard. For some of them, they wonder why. But they understand, though, because they understand that you're not, you know what I mean? Like, your love is unconditional. I mean, yeah, again, you want better for your person, and you might even want better for yourself, but that doesn't stop you from really loving and respecting this person, and they feel that. That's why it's coming out in the reading. Let's see, where does pile 2 currently, or 3 currently stand with their person? Where does pile 3 stand with them? You guys are not talking, at least not a lot. What I heard you, pile 3, say something along the lines of, there's nothing left to talk about. You've said everything that there is to say, unless there's something new to be spoken about, right? You still could be sticking or holding on to your boundaries. Where does pile 3 stand with their person? What do we got here? Coffin and kisses and axe. Whoa. At the bottom of the deck, yeah, we got mask. So your person is still kind of like, you know, they're not showing their true feelings, even though you're able to tap into their true feelings. You sense what their true feelings are, but they're not expressing it. So, you know, where you stand with your person, you guys are not talking. I mean, there may have even been like an ending put to, like, even though the love is there, it's like we're not expressing it anymore. We're not talking about it anymore. You may have chosen to cut this person off, or they feel cut off from you. They understand why. That's why your person, with the tribe in the reverse, that's why you are a safe harbor for them, but they're just not the kind of person that can, you know, yeah, they can come home, but they don't feel comfortable staying, because coming home to you would require ditching the mask, and they're not ready for that yet. even though they know, even though they know that you read them very accurately, they don't feel comfortable embodying that, acting out of that, expressing themselves from a true space. Let's see, what do they want? Things could be very quiet between the two of you right now. There's a lot of energy active between the two of you, but it's not being expressed. It's not being talked about. It's not being shared through like affection or anything like that. It's there though, but for some of you it's not the strongest message, but for some of you, I mean, you could have lost the desire to even want to be affectionate with your person. Let's see, what is pile three's person? Pile three's person, what do they want with pile three? Let me put these up here real quick. We got, yeah, your person's got a lot. I'm hearing they still have a lot of things they need to get out of their system before they can come home and stay home. Some of them, we have divorce, alimony, so terminating a marriage, separation will be costly, complicated relationship. Bad intention says red flags, lies and secret, be vigilant and protect yourself. That's way too much. But I do want to note, we got old school, third party, and happiness. Your person, I just heard playboy. Your person could still be kind of in that playboy energy. Give me one more. What does pile three's person want with pile three in this connection? That's way too many. I just need one. I'll take two if they come out, but no more than that. Okay. Beauty. It says intimidated by your beauty. Your beauty stands out in physical attraction. They're not ready for anything more or anything deeper. That's why. And I feel like maybe you kind of closed down that docking station, right? Like your person can circle all they want, but all the docks have been closed until they figure their stuff out. Like what I feel like you're waiting for, pile three, is for them to ditch this mask. It's still there. They're still riding around with it. They're still sporting it. They're not living authentically, and that was even in the tribe. That message is in there too. And somebody in high priestess energy, even the Queen of Wands energy, that's somebody that's very authentic. Your person's not. They're still living life with that mask. They haven't gained the kind of inner fortitude that they need yet in order to feel comfortable just completely ditching that mask and living from a very authentic space. So, what your person is wanting, that's still coming from the mask. They still want that mask. Let me look what's going on with divorce here and alimony for what they want with you in this connection. Tell me more about the divorce alimony card, please. For some of you, if there is marriage here, not between the two of you, but like if you're married or if you're with a third party, or if they're married or they're with a third party, they might want to divorce that person, okay? This kind of is giving me the energy that they do want, happily ever after. They do want to build something with you, but and it could be coming from the mask, something about wanting to complicate it. That doesn't make sense when it comes from the logical mind, but wounding never makes sense. The nervous system just operates. I mean, it's just an operating system. It doesn't really operate off of logic and stuff like that. And so, if something is coming too easy to your person, their nervous system could be clocking it as, a threat for some reason. And so, your person could literally want, a complicated relationship with you. And that might be because that's all they're available for. They might be like, they're not available, or they don't know how to have a healthy dynamic of a connection or a relationship. All they know how to do is complicated. And so if all they have the choices, nothing or complicated, then they're like, I don't want nothing with pile 3. I want something, even if it's just complicated, right? Tell me more about bad intentions, or what they want with pile. Oh wow, yeah. They're wanting to hide their true selves from you. The thing is, though, is they're not understanding. Again, this is so strange because they know that you already know who they are at their core. But there's something very uncomfortable about your person actually living from that space, okay? What are they hiding? Or what's the mask hiding? Their fear. The mask is hiding their fear, their doubts, their self-limitations. Their mask is hiding or trying to hide the fact that they don't feel comfortable and at home in themselves. And then with the 7 of Swords clarifying bad intentions, this is your person still acting out, still wanting something with you, even if it's complicated. And because, out of whatever it is they're dealing with, like, hiding the red flags, doing whatever it is that they do that they know. Okay, so here's a scenario that's being given. You're home. You're the safe harbor. You're the one that they come home to, quote unquote, home, right? When maybe the world has drained them. When they start to feel lost, or maybe they start to, whatever, off balance or off kilter, ungrounded, knocked off center. And then once they've, found their center, it's like they leave again. And it's what they do when they leave that they're wanting to hide from you. Hiding the red flags, hiding lies and keeping secrets and giving you reasons, right? Giving you reasons, or trying to conceal the fact that they're giving you reasons to have to maybe protect yourself against them. You having to maybe put some boundaries and some parameters in place where, you're not letting this person just come and go as they please anymore. So, they're just being honest. Like, what they're wanting is they still want access to you and your energy. Even though they're not fully honoring what they have with you. Tell me about beauty, and then we'll wrap up your guys' reading. Anything to add for beauty? Tell me more about the 2 of Wands. Yeah. I'll be honest, this almost feels like your person wanted to knock you down a few pegs. And that's coming from a space pile 3 of your person feeling like they are unable to rise to meet you. So they want to knock you down several pegs to make it easier. So basically to bring you down to their level. There's also energies here of you know, what they're wanting is to maybe like dangle you know, something like a carrot on a stick, whether it's a commitment or it's promises of getting better or something like that, just to keep you holding on from. They don't want to lose you. They definitely don't want to lose access to you. But there's impatience in your person's energy. There's also this recognition that, you know, you're beautiful inside and out. You have your pick of the litter. You could, if you want to, replace them if you wanted to. Some of you might even, you know, have opened yourself up to the possibility of seeing someone else. If that's the case, pile 3, somehow your person has picked up on that, and they're, oh, well, it even says there, I'm afraid of losing you. I forgot about that. They want you to be codependent on their energy in much of the same way that they're codependent on yours, but you're just not. There's an energy coming through with you, pile 3, that you're sovereign, you're self-possessed, and, you know, everything, your confidence is self-sourced, your security is self-sourced, your radiance and your warmth. I'm hearing wealth too. So some of you, you know, either you're wealthy, your person sees you as wealthy, or they see the possibility for that. They might even be fearing that you might meet somebody who's wealthy, right? That could match your energy in that way. All right, pile 3, that was your reading. Thank you so much for hanging out with me again today. If you got from this reading what you came here for, take a minute, if you would, smash the like button for me. It's a wonderful way to energetically donate to the channel. It also makes YouTube happy, which keeps my channel and my videos on top of the algorithm, which makes me really happy. Let me know that you picked this pile. Let me know how it resonated. Become part of the family if you have not already done so by subscribing. Don't forget about the notification bell so you don't miss a reading or an announcement. And pile 3, I will see you guys at your next pick a card love reading. Bye, guys.